Alright YouTubers, what's going on? Come back into another knife video. We're looking at a fixed blade bushcraft knife. This is the RealSteel Bushcraft 2. Some improvements on this knife over the original, and we're going to just get right into it. Do a little backyard bushcrafting, as I like to call it. Do some feather sticking, some batoning, some carving, other various tasks with this knife. See how it holds up, see how the edge holds up, see how comfortable the handle is. I'll tell you right now, just in your hand, it's extremely comfortable. And I don't anticipate there being any issues, and we'll talk a little bit more about the sheath and how that works, and so yeah, stay tuned, let's get into it. Take this glove off. This handle's really comfortable. Just doing some shavings here. Pretty seasoned wood too, so the handle's nice and comfortable under use. Look how seasoned that wood is. It's old and yeah, stuff's rough. Not the best feather sticking stick, that's for sure. But we're getting a lot of good shavings for fire. Baton these logs with this. I'm not going to want to baton huge things, obviously, with this knife, but should hold up just fine to that type of batoning. There we go, we're lit. Yep, strikes fire still nicely. What a 90-degree spine is really good for too, is not just striking fire still, but clearing all this excess bark off this wood. That's great. Now look at that. Nice and clear now. Nice sharp tip there. Well, this wood we're using today is really hard, so this knife's doing pretty dang good. Got a nice sharp spear tip if I need it. So it does good at carving, feather sticking, batoning, notching, drilling, whole 9 yards. Checks all the boxes for me. Love the 90-degree spine on it. It was nice to scrape all that bark off that branch there. Plus start a fire, you know, with the fire still. It's jimping here on the tip. Not too aggressive. It really locks your finger in nicely. And again, the handle is awesome. I love it. So it's a smaller bushcraft knife, but I think it's probably a really good. I mean, it's everything you need. You know, pairing this with like a big chopper or a hatchet, you'd be good to go. I mean, it's got great ergonomics in the handle. G10's nice. Plus, it's a good looking blade. Let's talk about the sheath a little bit. Talk about that in the tabletop probably more, but I've got mine on a Tech Lock. So yes, it is Tech Lock compatible. Comes with a nice Kydex sheath from the factory. This is not aftermarket. This is what comes with it. Nice Kydex sheath that is Tech Lock compatible. I'll show you in the tabletop as well the other attachment it came with. But I had this Tech Lock laying around, so I threw it on there because I know a lot of people love using these. And you can set it up for horizontal carry also if you want to. So I mean, for the money, 45 bucks I think is what I paid for this. You get D2 steel, you get nice grind, you get a really comfortable handle, nice red black G10 with red liners. It also comes in a coyote brown G10 with that coyote sheath. So hard to beat it for the money, guys. Really good, nice quality, comfortable to use, and like I said, checks all the boxes, and yeah, it's a great value. All right, after all that woodworking, can it still slice through paper? Oh yeah. I'm getting a little catch there. I think a little stropping won't fix, but guess what? Still plenty sharp. Getting these slow push cuts. So definitely has a good edge still. Alright, so still very sharp after that. Did some nice paper cutting. I actually just stropped it and it's razor sharp now. So the edge held up really, really well. Again, just some final thoughts. For the money, 45 bucks, it's pretty hard to beat for a bushcraft knife. Maybe my new favorite bushcraft knife, just because it's got such a great handle. Not too wide, like I said. It's kind of thinner than a lot. It does have some palm swells, but not as big as a lot of bushcraft knives. But for me, with my medium hands, it's perfect. It just is super comfortable in the hand. Like I said, the scalloping here is a nice touch. Everything lines up nicely. You know, the fit and finish is really good for the price. I can't believe how good it is. Nice lanyard hole. There are some differences in this knife versus the first gen. The first gen knife used 440C steel, where this is D2. And the other one had a larger lanyard hole. This is a little bit smaller. So it's an improvement. Definitely a step up in the steel. And definitely really comfortable handle. And I like the smaller lanyard hole, not a huge one. I need to put one on there. I haven't done it quite yet. The sheath, again, is another great aspect. One thing that a lot of knife companies, even really expensive fixed blades, don't do well is the sheaths. They, you know, like for instance, Becker, and they're not really expensive, but they're more expensive than this. Becker, Tops, SE, sometimes don't give you the best sheaths, and you end up having to like go spend an extra 50 bucks or whatever on a custom Kydex sheath, and something that uses a tech lock or something that you want that has belt loops. This one is out of the box good, and it's tech lock compatible out of the box, which is awesome. It's got good, nice snap in, nice retention. I mean, it's really well made. Got a nice thumb ramp here to release the blade. I mean, it's just great. It comes with this, it actually came in this little plastic sack too, which is kind of funny. But it comes with this belt loop attachment from the factory. I had the tech lock, obviously, so you can configure that in horizontal, or it's more of a, I don't want to call it a dangler, but it's going to sit up higher, and which I actually don't mind. I just threw the tech lock on here because I had one handy, and I know a lot of people are going to ask that question, is this tech lock compatible? So yes, it is. I'll probably actually swap it out for this, just because I like to have it sit a little lower on my hip, and this will, you know, your belt will go through here, and this will sit down a little lower. But the tech lock, it sits up a little high to grab, in my opinion. But it's nice and secure, and if you're going to throw it on a pack, you know, you do have that capability as well. So that's a nice feature, you know, to be able to throw that in some molly straps or something with that tech lock. So, but overall, great sheath out of the box. I mean, guys, I think it's probably hard to beat as far as value goes for a bushcraft knife for under $50. I mean, even the bushcraft black is right around there, and it's not full tang. It's going to have a similar grind, obviously the Scandi grind, but the edge of trench is not going to be as good as the D2, and you don't get a nice G10 handle with the liners and everything. You get, you know, that overmolded plastic handle. So pretty hard to beat. It's going to be some stiff competition. I like that the Bushcraft 2 has some nice improvements over the original, and I think this is going to be a huge seller for them. So thanks for watching the video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. We'll see you on the next video.